San Antonio Weddings is proud to present Bridal Buzz with your host, Erica Perez.
Hey Bridal Babes, welcome to another episode of your favorite wedding podcast, Bridal Buzz. I am your host, Erica, and today we are joined by a couple that just got married, Kevin and Michelle. Hi guys.
Hi.
Hey. I love seeing how people answer because I feel like I preface it so well and yet still people will be like, Hi. It's happening. So how are you guys?
Terrific, actually.
How's newlywed life?
It's, I can't complain about it, honestly. Like,
Michelle's looking at you like,
there's honestly, nothing that has changed from when we've been together.
Which means it was always great. It was always blissful.
Always great. The only thing that's different is just me waking up in the morning calling her my wife. Which I love, so.
Michelle, did you pay him? I'm just kidding. So let's start with first, when did y'all get married?
Got married on October 25th.
Mm-hmm.
So
of this year?
Yeah. Of this year, yeah.
So.
At the Milestone in Boerne. It was Sunday. Got married in the morning, so it was like from 11 to 3. So it's a pretty short, crazy morning. Everyone didn't think it was going to be...
everybody thought it was
gonna happen, but everyone was like, it's just gonna how are we gonna do this?
Why were you guys like, is this gonna happen? Is it not?
Well, it was just not more like, is it not gonna happen, but it was more like how are we gonna get the pictures done in a timely manner with the time frame, because it was such a tight
Yeah, 4.5 hours is very, very short compared to other people's day. Whether you have a Saturday, you get married at 2:00 in the afternoon, and then you finish the night at
midnight,
12 or 1 o'clock midnight. So it's a very tight time.
It's almost as if we walked in and then we walked out. We're
that's how it was.
I do. And bye-bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna want to talk more about that, but let's just take it back a little bit. How did y'all meet?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah,
and that's one to talk about.
Yeah.
So, back 2016, April 28th was actually the first day that I got the audacity. Well, I just grew a pair, and actually was just like, okay, I think it's time to just go ahead and introduce myself. And this was...
So you met 2016.
Right, 2016, April 28th.
How long did you know her before you decided you'd ask her out?
Honestly, it was maybe
30 seconds.
Well, no, not even. It was Michelle 2 weeks.
Hi, I'm Michelle.
2 weeks before that, you entered the tennis class at UIW.
Yeah.
So that's where we met, and I just did some scouting, I was just like, okay, now this one's got some potential. Now, where can I go with this? So, I felt confident enough to just go ahead and say, you know what, I think today's the day, today's time. So asked her out to lunch.
It was so funny because he was like, hi, I'm
Backtrack
Kevin.
A little bit.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you're like, okay. So
I was like, cool. And then we connected the dots. His only brother, and then my middle brother played baseball at the college that we were going to.
Cool.
And then we just were like, that's crazy. And,
because all that time, whenever our brothers were playing baseball together, I was always at the baseball games, but she was never there. So I never ran into her.
For a reason.
But at the time, she would have been a senior in high school, and I would have been a freshman. So it was like, okay, well, this is a little awkward. But
I'm way older than Kevin.
Yeah.
For the record, so everyone on the podcast knows I am way older than Kevin.
Yeah, but not by much. So.
But you eventually asked her out, and everything must have gone well because you proposed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Honestly, just asked her out to lunch, and then we went out to lunch that same day at Zoe's Kitchen. Yeah. That was our first time. Yep.
Listeners, they're looking deep into their eyes as they describe this, by the way.
You want to go there after this?
We'll go there.
So talk to us about the proposal now.
The proposal?
Yeah, how'd you propose?
Well, as we know, Michelle is very, what's the word for it? She's very easy to convince if you tell her a story.
Gullible.
So there you go, gullible. I made up a story that, you know, back in the 1800s when, at least I hope that's when the war was going on with like the Alamo. Anyways, made up this story about there was a documentary on the History Channel. Told her that, you know, the Indians actually used to put their you know, their jewels and everything inside the river. They used to hide them there. So I was like, okay. So
the river, like Riverwalk River?
Right,
okay.
exactly, the Riverwalk. So we went down to the Pearl area, and I was like, how can I get her down to the Riverwalk without her being suspicious about anything? So I was like, okay. So I was like, at 7 o'clock at night, you know, there's going to be a full moon, and when there's a full moon, it's going to shine bright in the water. And you might just see some stones in the water.
I look back on this, I'm like, I'm really dumb.
So, you know, we're waltzing down there, and then
nothing.
Not dumb.
and I'm like, okay, it's 7:58. Yeah, I mean, it's 6:58. Yeah. So, you know, we get down there, and I'm like, okay, so if you close your eyes, I'll tell you when to open them whenever I see them. So, you know, I did that.
And you closed your eyes?
Oh, for sure.
And then
at this point, I'm
Did
like,
you
I'm
know
all
what
in
he was
for-
going to propose, or you were just really all in for ghostly gems?
I mean, I got dressed up, like really dressed up because it was my birthday.
Yes.
And December 28th, and it was my birthday, and I think at that point, I was Roy, our son, was maybe a little over a year, so like I felt really good that night because I was.
Actually, I think it was maybe more like 5 months.
It was in
at least.
2017.
Was it? Well, yeah, Roy was born in 2017.
Oh wait, that's right.
Yeah, there you go. 2017 August. Come on.
All you listeners out there, when you have a child, you will still have pregnancy brain for like at least 3 years.
So you felt really good.
So I felt really good about myself because like it was the first time I actually like dressed up like in a while.
Oh,
because
okay.
Roy was born in August of 2017 and proposed in December. So it was just like a couple months fresh, and I was like.
It was probably one of those nights where you finally have time to just yourselves.
Right.
Yeah, my birthday.
My
Like,
birthday.
And so he proposed, and then our friends were in like the bushes, and they're like, "Those are our friends!" and they're like, "Oh yeah, Kevin, I see you!" And
oh my God.
it was right there, like by like Hotel Emma, and then we had.
Well, actually, before that, little did she know I had a photographer from Paparazzi Photography there, and was you know just taking pictures of you know the hotel and the lights and stuff like that.
That is so smart.
Once I proposed, I told her, I was like, look, we have a photographer right over here, and we were able to actually like
capture the
moment. So
yeah, it's pretty cool.
45 minutes after I proposed, we got a full engagement session. You know, so
awesome.
That was nice of them to do that.
No, that's
so,
genius. A lot of people don't think about that. It's
right.
like, who's going to take the pictures? And
exactly.
you want pretty pictures because as a girl, I know we want pretty pictures.
Yep.
I want to start moving into the wedding portion.
Sure.
But before I do, it is time to let our listeners know that today's episode is sponsored by The Overlook. It overlooks the beautiful Medina Lake, so you get to have an awesome venue, and then you also get to see the lake in the background. Plus accommodations for the bride and groom. So make sure you check out The Overlook, and it basically looks like this. And then you can see the whole lake. So listeners, make sure you check them out. Back to you guys.
Perfect.
The wedding. So you guys were already getting into the whole wedding. It's at the Milestone. It was fast.
Yes.
Tell us about like the florals, all this stuff that brides are like dying to know.
I guess that's
Kevin-
more of a question for you on the florals.
Kevin
right?
really wasn't too involved in that. With the florals, I decided to do a lot of greenery, a lot of like white blush, something that was just kind of like will go with like everything. Some blue thistle, like because Kevin was wearing like a navy blue.
How did you decide on those colors then? Because so if you had like a summer vibe and then you ended up changing it.
I saw some like online, like on Pinterest, and I saw this girl, and I was like, I must have that. Now, like they're inspirations for a reason, and I think that's what like brides should know is that if you have an inspiration for something, it's not gonna like look completely identical,
right?
So yeah, like I think like so we ended up going with KB Flowers, Christy is so sweet. She really worked around our budget and understood like we weren't trying to like explode our wallets.
Yeah.
And
going overboard. So.
And you know, because at the end of the day, you know, we were probably going to preserve like a couple things, but like, you know, like I don't even know what happened to our arch. Like I left the venue and I don't know what happened to it.
I think it stayed there.
I think it's the next couple like
I think they gave it to the deer because like everything there is like, you know,
we probably should have gone back and gotten it, but it just did not hit our minds.
But I decided on it. I decided on those like arrangements because I thought it would look good with like everything, but the Milestone is so naturally beautiful that we really didn't even need a whole lot of flowers.
Cool.
You know, some flowers like on the head table, on like the arch. I mean, and I kept my bouquet like had a hint of actual like maroon, some pop of red. And because Kevin's bow tie was like maroon, like a Merlot.
I love how you got to tie Kevin in a lot into the colors and stuff. Was that planned?
He didn't say, he was just there and looking like handsome, and I'm just like, just stand there and you'll get what you get.
I mean, I was planning to go with like a different tie. I was planning to go all white underneath, but then she was like, well, let's go ahead and implement some kind of red in there. I was like, okay, I can.
It will look really nice.
I'll allow it to change the bow tie, you know.
Yeah.
It's the one thing I get to choose. I customized it. I mean, I tried on about 3 different tuxes at the time.
Where'd you end up getting the tux?
I went with Generation Tux.
Okay.
So they're an online tux, and for everybody today, they're either too busy to go into a store, you know, just to go try on a tux. They will send you at-home try-ons, which was perfect for me because I was like, there's just no way I'm going to fit this in my schedule.
Yeah.
So, you know, they sent at least 2 at-home try-ons. Unfortunately, I didn't go with those colors just because I wanted to see what the fit was like. And then I was like, okay, I can finally make a decision on what I want my tux to look like. So
I've never heard of that.
That's the perks of it. Yep. And then you just send it right back. They give you... They'll send it to you within 14 days of your wedding.
Let's go back to the bridesmaids dresses. So you were kind of giving us some colors. Where'd you get those at?
At Bella Bridesmaids.
And did you like that experience?
Yeah, I mean, one of them doesn't live here in Texas, so it's nice how they have their online like gallery or I forget the technical
virtual
term.
showroom.
Yeah, virtual showroom. Thank you.
Technical terms.
Yeah, technical. Let's get technical. So she put in her measurements to the best that she could, and that's where they like
were able to get everything.
They were able to get everything for her,
and everything for you the way you wanted it, right? Like the colors and stuff.
It was really smooth. Like they helped me out. They're like, you want this color or this style? We also have this. But again, it was also the one like within the girls' budgets. Yeah.
What was y'all's favorite moment? And this is for each of you. What was the favorite moment of your wedding day?
You go first.
Oh, he's gonna take notes, Michelle.
You go first. Unless you want to hear mine, I'll just say.
Just real quick, what was your favorite?
My favorite part.
Or do you want to say it like on a count of 3?
Oh, you guys have the same favorite?
Do you want to say it on 1, 2, 3? Like keep it short.
Okay. Yeah.
You have like a 1-word answer, or 2 words. Okay.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Last
First
dance.
Oh. I said first dance.
Did
you said last dance. You said last dance. First dance. I said first dance.
Yep.
Wait, okay, well, now I have to know. So I kind of feel like the first dance is obvious. Like a lot of people love that moment. I love that moment. I cried during that moment. Why last dance?
The last dance for me, that was because everything just finally settled in. You know, it finally like hit me to where I was like, all right, we're married. We finally get to just relax and just have our last dance and just endure the moment with everybody outside waiting to throw petals at us.
Oh, you guys were alone for the last dance.
We were. So that's why it was
like
nice.
A vacation.
Yeah.
Because I was like, man, I haven't like had peace like this in like, so long. You know, when you're a parent, it's like those moments like really mean a lot. You know, to just have some like quiet time to like yourself.
Was that why you liked the first dance too, or what was so special about
I liked the first dance because we choreographed it.
We did.
Oh,
we did.
You did. That's
did
right. I
choreograph
read about it. Okay,
Yeah.
go
Yes.
a little bit into that.
So like
Good.
And that'll be the last thing because I'm
Yeah.
actually going overtime right now.
Okay.
I'm excited.
we had like gotten a choreographer, but then I was like, this kind of feels too rehearsed.
I was like 1,
Like
2, 3.
it felt
Yes.
like the
Very, very
moves,
rehearsed.
The moves felt like just not like, I guess,
Just natural.
authentic,
Yeah.
natural,
Mhm.
like
Natural.
organic, if you call it, like
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just gonna like YouTube it,
Mhm.
and I found this dance to Never Enough
Yeah.
from The Greatest Showman,
Oh.
and
Lauren Allard. Yep.
yeah, and it was very slow. We can easily just practice.
We
the
could
moves.
execute it no matter what.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean,
We're
like even if you've got 2 left feet, you could do this.
Yes.
dance. Like, and we have the video of the whole thing, so it was
Oh my
it was pretty funny to see Kevin mess up, but I was laughing. I was laughing. He was laughing. I was like, you know what? Let's just roll with it.
Yep.
You know,
Nobody
no one
can tell
even
either.
knows. Just pick me up and start spinning me,
Yep.
and we
right.
made it through it.
I want to see that video. I'm sure our listeners are like, "What is that video like?"
Yeah.
So
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to
It's
share
really-
that.
Definitely upload.
It's it was my favorite because anything that Kevin and I do together, like if it's like practicing something or building a furniture piece from IKEA, like okay, well technically Kevin does it, but and I just watch. But I call it doing
When you
it
say
together.
we, you mean me.
I call it doing it together.
But it meant a whole lot to me because he really tried. Like,
Yeah.
because I don't think he would have like done that if you paid him like
Oh.
4 years ago.
Oh well, he loves you. He's your husband.
That's true.
Any last words, you guys?
I guess if it's one thing that I have to say is that it doesn't matter how much money you put into it, doesn't matter how much time you put into it. At the end of the day, it's what you, your wife, and yourself want, for us guys out there. It's what you want. It's not what anybody else wants. You need to just put it aside and say, this is what we want. We envision this. We want this to happen. You're either with us or you're not.
Oh.
And that's
Michelle, you stand by your
that's how
man.
it
I
goes.
do.
Yeah.
I do.
Awesome.
Always.
Great advice.
Yeah.
Good and you just agree. You're good.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
I guess, like, I would say, like, just kind of like buying a car, like any vendor that you, photographer, DJ, whatever, go see at least, like,
Oh, yeah.
5.
Yes. We saw at least 10 different venues
Yeah.
in a month.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And
Okay.
if
Basically,
there's more.
like, do
it's-
your research.
Yeah,
Yes, do your
and
research.
it's-
Don't just go with the first company.
I think that's what I can, like, give is just do your research and,
And don't settle.
and yeah,
Yeah.
and just stick with what you want, so.
How can if our listeners wanted to try finding you, if you want to be found, how can they find you to see
Can't
your
find me.
pictures or
Oh, my handle. Let me see here. I have to go ahead and pull it out here.
Michelle?
Mine is
know mine by heart.
at Michelle.Vasquez 1025. I think that's it.
Okay.
And Kevin.
Forgive me, listeners. I'm sorry. You know what? I think it's just at Kevin_KVOS18.
Yeah.
That's it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Alrighty
Yep.
then. So, listeners, remember, as always, the buzz doesn't have to stop, but you can always follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We are everywhere. If you wanted to reach this beautiful couple, you know where you can find their wedding pictures, or just don't stalk our couples, but you
Yep.
can go see their beautiful wedding pictures. Our sponsor for today was the Overlook, so make sure you check them out. The venue is beautiful, and it overlooks the Medina Lake. And lastly, as a thank you to you two, this is a
Look at
box of fancy chocolates. They are handcrafted, hand-painted by Charity Tea Confections. So
Perfect.
hopefully you guys get to eat those before Roy gets his hands on them.
Oh, yeah. We'll make sure of that.
Yeah, we'll make sure.
We'll pick up some dinner first.
So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for coming. Look at this camera and wave. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Let us know how your wedding planning is going. Visit sanantonioweddings.com and click on Bridal Buzz. You may be our next guest.